Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's Caitlin and I'm a licensed hairdresser. So today's video is kind of more of an educational one because this is some input that I've taken from clients and stylists, and I wanted to relay back to you because this may be why you are losing clients, or maybe your retention rate isn't 100% where it could be. And so I took a little poll with my clients. I just asked them some questions about why was it that you left your last stylist, or maybe they just kind of told me on their own, I'm looking for a new stylist because of X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to share those things with you in this video today. Okay, so reason number one of why clients leave their stylist is because they feel as though their stylist is getting a little too comfortable with them. So things like not having a consultation in the beginning of the service because you don't really think that you need one because you have had this client for 3 years, she's a loyal client, you've done the same thing on her every single 3 months for the last 3 years, so why would she change anything? And maybe you just aren't having a consultation every appointment, and skipping the massage at the bowl, and not asking if she wants to be styled at the end of the service, not offering curls. And so these are little things that your clients pick up on because they want to feel valued and important and like you really care to make them happy and give them the best results with their hair. So whenever you kind of like do shortcuts and skip out on things that you normally do, clients definitely notice that. And so like little things like, so I'm gonna skip the consultation and just mix up the lightener today, and we're just gonna touch up the same thing. So you never know, maybe she's looking around at the salon and looking at other stylists' work and thinking, oh, well, that copper for fall is really fun. Maybe I would have liked to have done this time, but she didn't really give me the option to tell her if I wanted to change anything. So they might be feeling like you're doing things a little bit too comfortably and that you aren't really giving them the option of change or like switching up their look. I always like to follow up with them on the previous color that we did. So if we did icy blonde, her last appointment, I'll say, so how have you been liking the icy blonde? Do you feel like that held up pretty good? And clients really do notice whenever you're not treating them the same as like their first initial appointment or their first few appointments. Like if you did a really nice sleek blowout and some beach waves on them at their last appointment, and then this time you're running late to your next guest and you just do like a frizzy quick little rough dry and then send them out the door, they're gonna notice that their style isn't holding as long as it normally does, and that you kind of rushed and blasted through it instead of taking your time and making sure that they love their hair and that they love the style even, because that's a big part of the salon too. A lot of people love getting their hair done. You can do it in a way for your clients where the style lasts for longer. They can wear it for like 4 or 5 days and in ways that they can't do it at home. So if they wanted a frizzy blow dry, they could just do that at home and toss their head upside down with a blow dryer, and that really isn't making them feel like you are giving them a special treatment. So a good rule of thumb is that I always like to treat my clients like VIPs. So for that reason, I don't double book, and I make sure that I book 30 minutes of extra time between my appointments, so that way I can either have the extra time to like take camera footage or take photos or style or curl them, or if they want to completely change up their look, that gives me the time to have a thorough consultation with them and make up a game plan and take the extra time that it may take if they wanted to go brighter or darker or a different color, and then also to style them and give them curls, waves, whatever it is that they're wanting to do. So I even had a client come in one time and complain that her previous stylist left her out the door with wet hair because she said, well, I just don't have enough time, my next client's coming in and your hair is way thicker and longer than I thought, so you're just gonna have to leave wet, which I thought was so just unprofessional and just not how you would want to be treated as the client. I would rather text my next client and say, hey girl, like I'm running 30 minutes behind. If you want to stop and get like a little snack or some coffee on the way, please feel free, and give them that heads up so that way they know what to expect and they don't just walk in and they're sitting in the waiting area and every 1 minute feels like 2 minutes to a client. I mean, honestly, it's different if your client is 30 minutes late to their appointment and then you don't have time to give them a full blow dry, versus if you're the one running behind or you're running late to the appointment or it's taking you longer than you thought that it would, and then you're telling them that they have to leave wet. So I really want to avoid that at all costs, and that's also why I book an extra 30 minutes for every appointment. So I treat all of my clients the same, whether you are a family member, a friend getting discounts, or if you are a free consultation, or if you are a full paying client getting color and extension application that day. I treat everybody the same. I try to give them that like really one-on-one personal VIP experience. I always offer snacks and refreshments, and I'm always constantly asking, is this heat okay? Are you still comfortable? Okay, great. Would you rather lay down for the toner? Would you rather sit up if it's gonna sit for a long time? All right, awesome. So definitely catering the whole experience towards the client, because they do notice if you don't keep that through the sessions of appointments that you have with them. They'll be like, oh my God, I remember when she used to ask me if I wanted a drink and she doesn't even ask anymore. I wonder why she doesn't ask me what I want to do with my hair anymore. Does she just feel like she's like mastered it and got me and now she's just comfortable? Like, I just don't feel valued as the client anymore like I would like to be. And then at that point, what's stopping them from going and seeing somebody else? Even though you might be the only person in that salon offering that service, there is at least 300 other people in your town that are also offering that service. And again, what's stopping your clients from going to them for that if you are kind of slacking on the client relationship or like on the experience with your client? And with friends and family members, don't forget that this is a business transaction that you are having with them, and you want them to refer you people like friends, family, coworkers, and the people that are in their lives as well, because that can be a huge tool. Like one of my best friends that I do her hair, yes, she's like a sister to me, so I give her a pretty hefty discount, but she has sent me so many clients. She loves her hair so much that I don't even have to ask her to post me on social media and refer me and like talk about me to all of her friends and family, because she just wants to do that, because I do give her that VIP experience that I give all of my full paying guests, and it really pays off in the end. So the second reason you might be losing clients is you changing your prices constantly. So what I mean by changing your prices constantly, I'm not talking about like a raise to yourself. Like, you should absolutely give yourself a raise and a price increase if you feel like you deserve that and you want to charge your worth. But what I mean by that is clients don't like going into the salon and today it's 300, next time it's 400, next time it's 500, next time it's 200, next time it's 100. So they don't like inconsistency and they want to know what to expect when they go into the salon. So I always include that in my initial consultation and my first appointment with my clients. I tell them what my full package is, I tell them what my partial package is, what my face frame package is, and I explain the maintenance to them. So I might say, okay, so my full highlight is this amount today, and then next time you'll just need a partial highlight and that'll be this amount, and we could alternate every 3 months, full and partial. Or if they have grays, I can say, okay, so my full package with the base color is this much, and then just your base color, which you will need every 4 weeks in between, is just this much. So we can alternate those out, and then that way they know for the next appointment that you're not just kind of like pulling numbers out your butt, because clients love consistency and they want to know what to expect, so that way they can prepare. And another thing is, don't charge your clients for services that they are not getting. So say your client booked for a full with a conditioning treatment, and then the day of they say, actually, I don't think I'm gonna get the conditioning treatment, I don't have enough time, you know, I don't have any plans after that. So even though they booked for it, you never know like what the situation is. They might be saying that they don't want the conditioning treatment and the blow dry because maybe they can't afford it today, or maybe like their husband lost their job and they just didn't want to vocalize that to you, or maybe they're a little bit shy and or embarrassed about it. So you never want to pry or like try to talk someone into getting something. I mean, of course, unless it's something like a gloss, which you need, or a root smudge, which you need. But if they're trying to kind of like cut out services that you don't absolutely have to have every single service, like a conditioning treatment or a blow dry, do not charge them for that when they check out, because if it is for that reason that they didn't have the funds and they just didn't want to have to like explain that to you, they're definitely going to notice when they check out, and then they're going to make a mental note like, wow, she charged me for that whenever I asked to not get that day, and they're going to remember that and they might not come back to you. So definitely remember not to charge for services that you are not giving to your clients. So the third reason you might be losing clients is the way you present yourself at work. So you should always present yourself like a professional. I know that laid back luxury is in right now. That's actually the vibe of the salon I own, is very laid back luxury, but I still will always do my hair and my makeup. I'll always wear like a cute pair of mom jeans and a crop top or a cute blouse and some booties. I'm not saying that you have to dress to the nines and wear red bottoms every single day or 9-inch heels. I'm just saying present yourself in a trustworthy, professional manner. You want your hair color to look good. You don't want 6 inches of just like stringy, Tales from the Crypt, split ends. You want to look like someone that you would get your hair done by. So what I mean by that is, I remember whenever I was still a client and I went to have a consultation with a stylist one time, and she had like 6 inches of just like stringy like ends, and then I noticed that she had like a hot root with like tiger stripes, like bleeders in her hair from foils that she didn't fix. And I just remember looking at it like if that is acceptable for her to wear on her, like what is she gonna think is acceptable for me to walk out of the salon wearing on my head? Because my standards are higher than that. Like, not to sound bad or judgmental, because clients look to you for trends. Like, they trust you and they value your opinion that you are gonna keep them on top of the latest trends, and that you know the latest like hairstyle techniques and coloring techniques, and that you're gonna educate them on those things. So they don't wanna look at you and not like your hair. That makes you not as trustworthy looking of a professional as they would like you to be. And I actually even had a client one time tell me that she loved the way her old stylist did her hair, but she would show up looking like a bum. She would show up in like a hoodie or a sweatshirt and some saggy sweatpants and some like Birkenstocks, and just kind of show up with her hair in a bun and no makeup on. Like, she just really didn't care or take pride in the way that she presented herself to her clients. And in my client's words, not mine, she said that that came off lazy to her, and that she didn't care, and that her standards weren't up to what the client was expecting, and that's why she actually stopped seeing her. And my clients come to me and pay $330 for a full package. Like, if your client is coming to you paying luxury prices, like hair color is a luxury service. You don't have to get your hair colored, and you have to look at it that way, that it is a luxury service, and so you need to look the part. I am damn sure gonna look good if my client's coming in paying $330 for a full and tipping me on top of that. Because I'm kind of in an area between like the city and the country. So I'm about 30 minutes from Atlanta, 30 minutes from like out in the sticks. So even though my prices are considered mid-priced for this area, and a lot of my clients have in the past drove to Buckhead and Brookhaven and paid $700, $1,500 for their hair, just because I know that they've paid that and now they're coming to me and I'm much cheaper, does not mean that I'm going to give them any less of an experience because of that. So again, that kind of goes also back to like what people are paying and new clients and everything. Like, treat everyone the same, because clients love consistency and they don't want you to treat them like you're just comfortable or like you don't care. And the next reason that you may be losing clients is because you are not giving out enough positive vibes. So I see it all the time. I've heard it from my clients that they stop seeing their stylist because their stylist was talking about how much they hated the salon they're working at, and they shared numbers with commission percentages and how they just weren't making the money that they wanted to make, and that so-and-so is being mean to them in the break room, and that the salon owners are doing this or saying this or taking this away. I mean, I get it if you have like a friendship with that client type of relationship and you're telling them, kind of like laughing about the story about the salon scammer, or like you had a bad client and this was the experience. You don't want that to be the mood of the whole entire appointment. And you don't want to talk crap about your salon or the salon owner or your coworkers to your client, because that gives the vibe of a negative atmosphere, which clients don't want to be paying a business their hard-earned money to get their hair done whenever they know that like you're not making the majority of that money because of the commission percentage, or because they know that it's a super toxic negative environment in there, and that makes them feel uncomfortable when they go in and see you, and it makes them not like the salon more. So they can love you and think that you are a super sweet girl, but they could hate the salon atmosphere, and the negative vibe can really dawn in on them, and they could go to another salon and see another super sweet talented girl with a positive vibe. So like, I just wouldn't even bring that up in the conversation, especially not like while you are still working at that salon. Like, maybe after you leave and they ask you why you left, you could say, yeah, like it just wasn't really like the vibe and the atmosphere that I was going for. You don't have to elaborate too much on everything, but I especially would not talk bad about a salon while you are still currently working there and your client is still coming to that salon and paying for services to get done. I also see a lot of stylists that will like scream over their blow dryer while they're doing their client's hair to a stylist at the station next to them, talking crap about their last client, or the owner of the salon or another coworker, or just like sharing some drama. And I feel like that's not really a good look either, especially since you should be catering the entire experience to your client. You really should not be allowing them to hear that type of thing. Like, I get it if it's like your best friend at the salon and you call them after work and talk about some drama or something, but like, I would not be openly screaming about that in the salon in front of like clients and just kind of like being on your phone the whole entire time in front of clients. Again, like going back to the experience, I just feel like that's not a good look. I have been a client in that situation before I was a hairstylist, and it just kind of made me uncomfortable because I was like, oh my gosh, like my entire appointment they've been like talking crap about this girl that they work with and like how she steals. I was like, this is making me uncomfortable to even come to the salon and like leave my purse on the ground at the shampoo bowl. Like, oh my gosh. So I actually never went back after that, and that was the reason why, because the negativity that I saw was making me feel uncomfortable personally as the client. So the next reason that you might be losing clients is you are not being honest with your client. So if your client brings you an inspiration photo and you don't think that that is going to be possible or that you are capable of achieving that look, say no and refer them to someone that you think can perform that service well and is more capable of that look in achieving that for that client. I personally, like, if somebody comes to me for a pixie cut or a men's cut, pretty much straight off the bat, I'm like, that is not my forte. Let me refer you to so-and-so down the street. She's really good at that type of look. That's just not something that I really offer as a service, because I think that there's somebody else out there that's better than me at that service, and I'd rather you be happier and see them. So that, and then you also don't want to forget, even though this seems like common sense, the still image photo conversation. So when somebody's wanting something and they're fixating and obsessing over this one picture and they want this, they will not accept anything else but this that day, and you know it's going to take multiple sessions and they have box dye on their hair, whatever the reason is. You have to have that conversation with your clients about the still image photo, how like that picture is not even going to look the same as that same client in a video, and how if you saw that person walking in front of you moving their hair side to side in the wind, like it's going to look different there in real life than it does in the photo. If it has a filter on it, you need to describe that to your client and just say, hey, look, this has a really icy filter on it. That may be obvious to you, but the client may not notice that type of thing, because sometimes we forget that we have been so highly trained in this area of hair and that they haven't. And so sometimes to me, like, it's obvious, and I'll even forget sometimes to explain to them when I'm doing like an icy blonde that if you stand under the sunlight, it's gonna look yellow because the sun's light is yellow. If you stand in a bathroom light, it may look brassy and orange because that light is orange. Whereas if you stand in indirect natural sunlight like I am right now, then you see the true to tone look of the hair color that we are achieving today. And it's just important that they know that the hair is going to look different in different lighting. So just educating your clients again, just say no. If you don't think you're capable of something, say no. And then also if it's something like this, then explain that to your client. Another reason you may be losing clients is because you are running late to every single one of their appointments. If you're running late and you see a pattern with that with a certain service, mark off an extra 30 minutes, and that way you have buffer time. That way if you finish early, you can eat. It's also just a really bad look if you are like running late and then the client's there before you are and they watch you walk in. Like, that does not look good. And I've personally had some of my clients tell me before that they had stopped seeing their previous stylist because their stylist would walk in 20 minutes late to their appointment without texting or calling them with Starbucks in hand, and they didn't even offer them any. If you're 20 minutes late, you best be offering them some Starbucks, and vice versa with the client and the stylist. I'm just saying, I know nobody else will say that, but I'll be blunt and say it straight up. And just to wrap this video up, again, always have a consultation, always make them feel valued and ask them about them. Like, they can ask about your life and you can tell them about the vacation you just went on and like what your plans are tonight, but make sure that you are really catering the service around your client, asking about them and making the service about them, because it is, and they are the paying client. I believe in treating every client like VIP, luxury. Treat them like they're absolute royalty. Make sure that they are comfortable, offer them a drink every single service, you know, give them good non-biased advice, because a lot of people go to stylists for that reason even, and always give them your best work, and always mark off enough buffer time to do any changes that they might want to do. And also always style them, always give them a good blowout that will last them a few days, and give them consistency. So that's the biggest thing, is clients hate change, they love consistency. So If you are going to give a head massage at every appointment, then give a head massage at every appointment, or don't. It's up to you. Same thing with offering clients snacks and refreshments. You don't want to like be completely out of drinks one day and then them ask you for one and be like, oh, sorry, yeah, I'm actually out of drinks today. Sorry about that. Or if you're going to offer to curl them and style them after every appointment, then make sure you're asking that after every appointment, because clients do expect the same treatment after every service as they should and as you would being the client. And at the end of the day, my biggest advice is treat your client the way you would want to be treated if you were a client getting their hair done. So I hope this helped you guys. I hope that if you caught yourself with any of these, like that, you are able to identify that and pick up on it and say, oh crap, I'm guilty of that, because I have been guilty of some of this in the past too. And I'm also bettering myself, and I think that it's always important to do that as a stylist, especially if you're passionate about what you do. But if you liked videos like this, please let me know, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!